One of the reasons why minerals and mining is so important in Montana is that it's a huge economic revenue source in the state of Montana and has been for a very long time. So a short history of some of the mining in Montana. We're all probably familiar with the mining that's gone on in Butte. In Butte, starting in the 1900s, they were mining gold originally and then switched to copper. And at the beginning of electricity in the United States, at one point in time, Butte was providing 40% of the entire world's copper. They did it out of the Berkeley pit, which you see in this picture, and they also dug something like 10,000 miles of underground tunnels in and around Butte to extract all of that copper. There were 100,000 people living there, and it also led to the largest number of millionaires in the state of Montana, more than anywhere else in the United States at that particular point in time because of the money being made here. They are still mining copper in Butte, but not out of the Berkeley pit. This has since filled in with enough water now that you could put the Space Needle inside it and you wouldn't see the Space Needle, but right next to it is the new pit. It's called the Continental Pit. Now in Libby, you always hear about asbestos, but that's not what they were mining. They were mining something called vermiculite, which is this accordion-like mineral. You heat it up and it pops open. You can put it in soil, and it allows nutrients and water and oxygen to get in the soil, and they also use it in insulation of attics. Problem was in Libby it was mixed in with asbestos, and so the asbestos got on clothing and got in buildings and got on all the people and made hundreds of people sick as a result of it, and they don't mine there anymore. In Helena, in the middle 1800s, there was a gold rush there at Last Chance Gulch. And gold is still valuable today. It's used in a tremendous number of electronic devices, probably some you are using right now. And it sells for $1,200 an ounce, which is actually down from last year at this same time by about $400. Currently, there are several places in Montana where mining is going on. In Whitehall, they are mining gold. They do it in what's a process called cyanide heap leach mining. They crush up the ore, they pour a cyanide mixture on it, and the cyanide draws out the gold. In Dillon, they are mining two things: garnet, which is what makes sandpaper scratchy, and talc, which is what puts sparkle in paint, and it's also in most cosmetics. And in Butte, as I mentioned before, they are mining copper currently. Some future plans, which are being fought with some resistance, is the Otter Creek Coal Mine, which is located in eastern Montana, and then also the Klein Coal and Gold Mine, which is located just across the border in Canada, north of Glacier Park, basically where at the headwaters of the Flathead River. So these, because of their potential environmental impacts, are not currently happening. Some of the effects from mining that have happened in the past, I already talked about Libby and how it was contaminated by the asbestos there. Bonner, Butte, and Anaconda are all linked together because Butte is where the mining went on. They put the ore on rail cars, sent it to Anaconda, where it was smeltered or basically cooked to get the copper out. And those two areas are dramatically affected by the mining that was done there. And one thing that happened was there was a 100-year flood, and it washed a bunch of the mining waste into the Butte-Silverbow River, which fed into the Clark Fork River, which ran all the way down and backed up behind a dam in Bonner. And they were going to remove the dam, but all of that waste would have gone downstream. And so they spent several years and millions of dollars and removed it all, and then got rid of the dam. So mining is not for free, but this is some of the history of what's gone on with mining in the state of Montana.